Zach, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
I am very good. Happy to talk with you about We Bury the Dead.
Thanks for having me. Loving the
Absolutely.
backdrop, by the way.
Oh, thank you. So talk to me about where your idea for this movie came from, because when you look at it, it looks like it presents itself sort of as a traditional zombie movie, but I think it's a lot more than that. So talk to me about where the idea came from for you.
Yeah, I mean, I just love stories of movies, cinema about ordinary people dealing with extraordinary situations. And after I was tasked with packing my mum's house down after she died. I was going room to room and sort of making these intimate discoveries, and the whole thing was weirdly surreal and but cathartic. And I thought there's something worth exploring further here, like in a film. I wanted a extra sort of security blanket, so it wasn't about me per se, and like doing something that I don't think many people would find very interesting. But the idea was like a jumping off point of a character going into these weird houses and going room to room, and but why are they doing that? So I just sort of like worked backwards from that sort of initial sort of gut instinct. And lo and behold, Ava and zombies then sort of crept their way into the film, and now here we are.
When you were conceiving the idea, did you always have the desire to have it be focused on a character, like Ava, and did you always see Daisy Ridley as the person to play her?
Yeah, like again, like I said about ordinary dealing with the extraordinary, like films about the end of the world, I'd much rather watch like a janitor deal with that
Hmm.
news rather than like a scientist who's there to
Yeah,
tell you why the world's ending. Like I don't give a
yeah,
shit about any of that. I want to
yeah,
know what the everyman. I want to know what this guy who has no skills, to deal with the end of the world is going to do. That's just more interesting to me.
yeah.
And so Daisy, having absolutely her character Ava having absolutely no skills apart from wanting to know what has happened to her husband and just getting thrown in the deep end with all of this shit that she has no business being anywhere near. I just love stories like that. So, I just sort of like tried to triple down on that.
There are a lot of moments in this movie that I think are scary, but for me, I think the most tense part is when she's kind of held captive, and that's a sequence that I think a lot of people aren't going to be prepared for. Talk to me a little bit about the germ of that idea for that, and just the shooting of that sequence. I thought it was really great.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I just love rug pulls in movies as well, and sometimes like when you get into a real flow with the script, it'll sort of present itself to you what it does and doesn't want to be doing, and all of a sudden I sort of found her on this other weird path for 20 minutes in the
Yeah.
script with this soldier, and we don't really know. And it was just sort of the script was sort of telling me that I should be doing this in a way. It was sort of just all coming out of me at that point. And I just love movies that sort of like take a sort of detour, but thematically it sort of all then makes sense in the end. But I just love like being surprised and thinking you know one thing about this zombie movie, and then hang on, now we're in this fucking house with this guy, and it's like all candlelit. Where are we now? I just love movies that sort of do that. Barbarian. I went into watching that movie so cold. I knew nothing about it, and it was the perfect movie to do that with because you're just on the edge of your seat every second. You're laughing, you're terrified, you don't know what's coming next, and movies that can still surprise you are just things that should be cherished. So for me, trying to attempt to even do a little bit of something like that, hopefully it works for audiences.
Well, Zach, I appreciate your time, man, and I wish you the best of luck with the film. I believe it comes out in January over here. So thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.